And we're up. My countdown was really off. Which it just seems to be a thing today. So I apologize if things kind of go off the rails a little bit, or whatever. But I'm like in a mode today. Um, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. Well, I'm not like I just 0. Okay, I think you guys should be able to hear us now. All of my little meters are moving at the bottom of the screen, so I think we're good.
Cool.
Are we good?
We were just I think we're okay. So we were just kind of bullshitting about stuff. Mother's Day was last week. Corey gave his mom $100 and patted her on the head and told her to be a good girl.
Why would you? Okay, why would you tell your mom that ever? Never do that ever.
He's exaggerating. I didn't do that.
That is exactly what he said verbatim.
No.
Awkward. Weird.
You never touch a black woman's hair. You don't do that.
Okay. Actually, I did hear that was pretty good advice. I'll take your word for that.
Never touch a black woman's hair and never touch a black man's radio.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Wait, that's from Do the Right Thing, right?
No, that's from Rush Hour.
Oh, okay.
I could have sworn that was like a Radio or Heme thing.
No, that was from Rush Hour, the first one. It was like
I'll have to rewatch that.
But yeah.
Speaking about watching things, we'll do this at the top of the show instead of at the end of the show this time. What have you guys been watching outside of Power Rangers? Like, what are your interests with what's on the air or dropping on the streaming services right now?
Currently watching Bad Batch on Disney Plus as always. So, and it's good. It's
really good. And just to plug something else, Thursday nights at 11:40 right here on the Illuminati, we do watch-alongs for all of the new episodes of the Bad Batch with myself, Caitlin, Rob White, or DJ Rob White, and Richard from It's All Connected. So join us there Thursday nights at 11:40 Pacific time if you can stay awake that long.
Yeah, and if you want to hit that bell button, you'll be notified to send yourself a reminder. If not, catch us the next day. It's all good.
Yeah, you know what? You can watch some posts, leave us some comments, let us know what you thought about the episodes. It's all good. It's all good as long as you watch. We're watching you. That's how that works.
We're always watching. I'm kidding.
All right. Bye, guys.
Al, what about you? What are you keeping up with anything?
No shows. I've been kind of going down a movie thing, catching up. I watched Raya the Last Dragon on Disney Plus.
Speaking of that,
it's pretty good.
Speaking of movies, I've been doing that too. I just got done with all the Golden Age Disney movies. That was the hardest era of Disney movies to watch.
Yeah.
Really? The Golden Age?
Which one did you end with?
Was The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. That was the last one. That was the last one of the Golden Age. Because after Bambi, all the films after that, like Melody Time,
those are rough.
Yeah, those are just like package films. There's no story. It's just shorts, as to be put together as a film. Yeah. So I was just like, oh, okay, this is.
Yeah, it's once you get back to the Renaissance, you'll be good.
No, once I get to the Silver Era, everything will be like, okay,
so be A-okay.
Yeah.
I mean, and then what? That ends at the Black Cauldron, and then starts up again, and the next era starts with the Little Mermaid, right?
No,
I think that's how that works.
Silver Age starts with Cinderella, ends with Jungle Book. The Bronze Age starts with Fox and the Hound, and ends with Oliver and Company, and then Renaissance begins with Little Mermaid and ends with Tarzan.
The Black Cauldron is one of those movies that people just kind of like they overlook.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed it. Like that. Yeah. That's. But like I like
darker.
A lot of, like it is
weird.
But I like things like the Ralph Bakshi animated movies, so like Cool World, which came out kind of after Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It was a animation live action thing. It was like one of Brad Pitt's first movies.
Oh, it's a hybrid movie.
Yeah. But also like his version of Lord of the Rings that came out in the late 70s, early 80s. Heavy metal is that kind of style. So if you like that kind of stuff, the Black Cauldron might be more up your alley. But if not, then maybe not. I don't know. I did watch last night the season 2 of Love, Death, and Robots.
Oh, how was it?
It was really good. Slightly less adult than the first season, but there were definitely still some like really out there moments in it.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Oh, and I also reached a Twitch affiliate on Monday.
Nice.
Woo!
Congratulations.
Nice.
Yes. Now I can start getting.
Congratulations.
Now I can start making that money.
Also, about Twitch, another plug. Today there is no Riker maneuver. Jamie got called into work last minute, so he's not going to be available. But I'm trying to talk Shay into going through a Star Trek Online mission with me. If he is unavailable, then I may start character creation on Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, and go through the first couple of missions on there. I picked it up yesterday, and it looks amazing, so I'm really excited to dive back into that.
Is it bad that I kind of think you and Shay are like brothers, even though you're roommates?
Yeah, well, it's funny because like me,
it's like
Shay,
that relationship though,
and Jamie, all like the three of us all live together.
Wow.
And Rob, who's on the Bad Batch show with us, he knows Jamie from Orlando, from working at like Disney and Universal Studios.
Right. Rob doing his thing.
Rob was Scooby, and Jamie was Shaggy.
Nice.
Wow.
That's just kind of weird, crazy. You know, like I thought moving out to LA, you know, it was gonna be like all completely new people, and now I'm like, oh, I know you from where I used to live.
What a job!
Right?
That's a bit.
So today, though, we are talking about episodes 23, 24, and 25 of Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. We're going to change up the format that we're using to discuss these just a little bit. Usually we start with a synopsis of the episode, then go into a breakdown and give our reviews and talk about different elements of it. Today I'm gonna let it be like a little bit more of a free-for-all. Because these episodes, we all kind of agreed ahead of time that they not necessarily the best that Power Rangers has to offer.
Yes.
So we'll see how this works out. So what I'm going to ask the three of you guys is which villain was your favorite out of these three episodes?
Cobra.
And which one was your least favorite?
Definitely the Cobra. That guy definitely has his own porno show for sure. Miss Fairweather definitely had the bukkake end of his freeze powers, and I thought that was super interesting for a children's show.
That was a really, really odd choice there.
Anyone want to argue with me on that?
I thought you said Oprah. I thought you said Oprah.
No, Cobra.
The Cobra. The snake.
It sounded like you said Oprah. I'm like, Oprah?
I mean, yo, that's a different kind of the movie there. But the snake, it just spewed, and like it was like ongoing. They took Miss Fairweather to the hospital bed. She was still covered in all of that stuff. They didn't even bother to clean her up. I don't know. I thought that was weird. It was a totally different episode than I was expecting.
Yeah, the character's name was Freezard.
Oh, I thought like Freezer.
Yeah.
Freezard.
But it's Freezard. That's Freezard.
Okay, Freeze Lizard. I was thinking more of like Dragon Ball, like Frieza. But okay, I mean that's cool. That was definitely my favorite villain. Probably will be for a little while.
Was it because of the bukkake?
Yeah, it was. Like give that guy a starring role. That's hard to pull off for most people, you know.
I can't believe.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know.
It was yeah, that was definitely bizarre to me, and it was so. Speaking about Love, Death, and Robots, one of the episodes was a Christmas themed episode where they showed who Santa Claus really is, and that bit there kind of reminded me of that episode a little bit. So it was kind of funny because I'm watching it, I'm like, huh, I just watched something very similar to this last night.
Did Santa spray his junk all over the children?
I'm done.
Was that the gift?
Not exactly. I don't want to.
I'll wait till I watch it. Yeah, and this is definitely a children's show. I'm sorry, I took it in the wrong direction. So how about you all? Which one was your favorite or least favorite?
These are all adults watching.
I know, but I feel like later, man, I'm gonna regret saying these things on out in public, having it out there in the internet.
I personally enjoyed. I believe it was Velveteen or what was it? Not Velvet.
The Velveteen Rabbit?
The Vine Monster?
Vile Vine.
Oh, the one Poison Ivy monster. Got it.
Yeah, that's the one that sucked people up inside of them, right?
No, that was a Cobra. The Cobra also took them all into his mouth. He was able to get all of Joel into his mouth, and I was like, dang,
like all these
that's
episodes
impressive.
Are just like
and all those other people
together
too.
For me. The only reason I like that one though was because of the Austin Powers reference with Fat Bastard, like because he was like, "Get in my belly."
Oh yeah,
he did say it.
He did say it.
I was like, that's totally an Austin Powers thing because this came out in it 2001?
2000.
2000.
Okay.
So Austin Powers was right in that
Zone.
that era. Yeah.
Right in
So
that zone.
that was a very the first one came out in 97.
Okay.
But no, I also I don't know. I enjoyed seeing Diabolico come back too.
Man, that's just old. I'm kind of over him. He died. He failed.
Oh,
you don't even got star power anymore. He's
you don't
not
like
magical Sailor Princess no more.
Power, I'm not interested.
Yeah, like he's weaker than he was before, right? Like, are we supposed to think he's more menacing? Like,
well, he doesn't have his star power, so
yeah,
that's gone.
So
he's
you don't like the beef between him and Olympius? You don't like the beef?
I feel like Olympius, like, he has the star power now, right? But isn't that like the source? Like, it made him grow into an adult demon. I kind of thought if Diabolical came back, he should have came back as a baby. Right? Because he doesn't have, like, his star was taken away, and that's what made Olympius turn into an adult demon. Does it not work in reverse?
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
think I agree with that.
You just have to assume Diabolico got it as when he was an adult. So.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
I think the reason that I like the idea.
Queen Bansheera's baby, so maybe it just works differently, you know.
All right. Maybe. Power Rangers, I kind of accept it, but the other half of my brain is like, what's going on here? Where'd you come from?
And in Japan, they are related. So, I mean, they don't even look like that. One's a snake, one's a dragon, one's a bull, and Diabolico, I don't know what he is. And then you have the Banshee lady. So it's just like how they're siblings.
I mean, you can have like different partners. I don't know how they're created, but
they're all half brothers.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
half siblings.
I mean, they were all siblings in a Sentai, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do have a question. This is specifically for Jonathan. So Diabolical, right? Like, after he died, he gets put back in the sarcophagus thing, right? Where he's staying. So they are immortal. And that sarcophagus, it's in Mariner Bay, right?
Why are we having this discussion? Egypt. We're in Egypt. It's in Egypt.
Like Egypt, but it's like right next to Mariner Bay.
Sure, let's go with that.
It's close because Ryan just walked over there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I assumed when he left and had to go find that. But what about you, Corey, Jonathan? Did you have a standout or worst kind of villain in these three episodes?
I didn't care. I'll be honest. I didn't care for these episodes. I'm sorry. I just really didn't care.
That's fine. Hey, that's how I feel that way sometimes too.
Well, I think we all do. Why didn't you care about these episodes?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
let's dig into this.
Okay.
Do you think it's like past trauma from when you were a kid?
No. There's no trauma or anything. It's just the first episode with the time traveling thing. I didn't even like it, and even when I was rewatching all the Ranger seasons last year, I still didn't like it. The second episode with the flowers and everything was just like, I've seen, like, this episode was a lot more serious in the Sentai, because in the Sentai the monster said it's gonna kill all 5 of you if you don't get those flowers off. So it seemed more drastic here.
The stakes were higher. Like, it was a life and death situation.
Yeah, here it just felt more tame, just saying like, oh, the spores are poisonous, this is gonna kill everybody. I was like, okay, that's a little tame. And with the third episode, I just didn't care. I mean, besides Diabolico coming back, I didn't care for these episodes. I really didn't.
I mean, the mobile armor vehicle was like the highlight of everything.
Okay,
but I mean, isn't that like why you watch these, Corey? Like, you watch them for the toys.
Toys,
right?
The toys.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Corey is the target audience. They want people to buy the merchandise. So like
me to buy the stuff.
Look,
it's true.
At the end, when the episode was over, he's like, I'm glad you're back, guys. All thanks to the mobile armored vehicle. And then in my head, it's like, now available at Toys R Us.
When I saw the mobile armored vehicle, I'm just like, yeah, this is the reason why I think Lightspeed Rescue has so many toys, so many weapons. It's because of that. The mobile armored vehicle, the Lightspeed cycles, the whatchamacallit, the V-Lancer, Thermo Blasters. I'm like, this team is armed this team is armed and ready for anything. Like, they got the most arsenal in any Ranger team.
Really quick, I just want to hop over to the chat. Thank all of you guys for joining us here. We've got Donnie Pearson, Jared Hodges, Metal Ryan Gaming, Super Ranger 25, Jared Hodges says that it's now a beef between Diabolico versus Olympius to get the right to fight for the star power, or to fight for the star power. And I think that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to seeing, because while I enjoy seeing good versus evil, I also enjoy seeing evil like bicker with itself.
I love that.
Just,
I love that.
Yeah. Like the infighting.
Yeah.
So that's usually pretty fun.
I was gonna ask, so Josh, because you haven't seen this yet, who do you think is going to win between those two? If it was Ultimate SmackDown, who is our champion out of those?
The audience? No. I'm gonna say it's probably going to be Olympius, only because he is Queen Bansheera's daughter.
Because he's got mama to help him out.
Yeah,
it's true.
Exactly. Yeah, like if Diabolico is like, oh, I'm gonna strike you down, then I could see her coming out and being like, and
then don't touch my son.
Yeah, slapping him down instead.
But actually, can I interject with that, because you could see how, I think, was it third episode, she was like, Olympius failed me one time too many. I was just like, I guess his special privileges is running out.
She'll just eat him, and it'll be fine.
I do have a question for either Jonathan or Corey to answer. What does the star power do?
Stop asking.
Okay. All right. That was a good answer.
Stop asking.
Okay.
It's just star power. That's all.
Stop asking about it.
All right.
It's just star power.
Well, okay.
It doesn't do anything.
So we started kind of talking about this ahead of the stream when we were off camera. And I do kind of want to bring it up again, because I want to get the opinions of those who are watching us and hear what us talking about these episodes. In that first episode, the Groundhog's Day, time loop thing.
Yes.
How did the time loop start?
Inception.
I'm kind of lost on that. Like I figured out what was happening, but I couldn't tell whether it was going to end with him still being in the simulation, and whether the whole thing was just a simulation, and that it was going to come out, and there was going to all the fights and everything. It it was going to end up like the episode never actually happened. Like everything was just in his mind in the simulation,
like a whole paradox situation.
Right.
Yeah.
But then we find out, oh no, all this is actually happening, but we don't know really how. It was that
timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly.
It seemed like it was because of the monster getting the bird blaster thing.
Blaster.
The rescue bird.
Yeah.
But there was nothing after that. Like, it was like, okay, now we're going back and he's starting the day over and he's back in the simulation again. So is it the simulation or is it real life? I feel like that episode could have done a much better job with that Groundhog's Day trope. Than it.
I don't think it could have. Given the context of Power Rangers, they tried something different. It was okay. But even the best kind of Groundhog Day, time traveling, there's always going to be issues. I have the bar set for Power Rangers to take on that same kind of topic genre, storytelling. No, there's no way it could have been better. There's no explanation they could have given that would have made any of that okay. Unless, you guys have watched it a couple times. Do you have theories?
No, I usually don't I usually don't. With shows I don't make theories.
Power Rangers and time travel, you just gotta leave it alone.
Yeah,
it's true.
You gotta leave it alone. They did time travel back in Mighty Morphin, and it's just hold up. And it just raises more questions.
Well, I'm okay with time travel stuff not being explained if it's just okay, we're traveling back in time, we're traveling forward in time, or something random happened. We're in a spaceship and it took us to another dimension, or that guy punched me so hard I flew back in time. That, okay, sure, that kind of stuff makes sense. But nothing actually happened to the Red Ranger, at least that I saw or noticed, that would have caused him to restart the day. If he had been shot by the bird blaster thing and it fried him or something, that would have made sense. or if, like I said, it had just been inside the simulation and none of it was real, it was all in his head, I could have accepted that too, because it was just like starting because he was failing the objective of the mission in the simulation, so it kept starting over. It just, I don't know. I get that I try and give it more credit than it needs, but it just seems like this could have been done a lot, like just with tiny minuscule little changes. It could have been a lot better.
I'm surprised you would say that, saying how you enjoy time travel stuff without any explanations, because I thought I know, knowing you always like to have an explanation for things.
I do, and that was one of my issues with Looper. Was I was like, okay, I enjoyed that in Looper they explain, when they tried to explain time travel, like Bruce Willis was like, no, stop talking about this. When we actually try and explain it, it gives me a headache. I'm not getting into this right now. Just accept that this is what's happening. Like
kind of a spoiler for next season.
That's fine.
There's very little time travel in Time Force.
Yeah, very little. Very little.
Really? I thought that
Very.
was like the whole concept of no.
That was originally supposed to be the concept, but they just decided not.
They're just from the future.
Oh.
And they protect time. And everything is happening in the past. So that there's your time travel.
So they travel back in time to save the future.
Yes, they fix whatchamacallit. What do you call time travel? When you call ruptures, time ruptures. There you go.
Okay. But they're just fighting time ruptures in one specific time period?
No, I mean, it's not even that. They're just criminals in the past, and they're causing commotion, and they're just locking them up.
So
like the things...
Cops.
Yes, time cops.
Yeah, I don't remember too much of Time Cop. That was a long time.
If I remember Time Cop correctly, he traveled back in time, but after he traveled back in time, that was pretty much the end of it. Other villains would travel back to where he was, but he didn't travel forward or backwards. He was always just kind of there in the same place.
I was about to make a Terminator reference.
Yeah, I was thinking of Terminator.
Like is nothing like Terminator whatsoever.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
There's no
Terminator's pretty good.
There's no T-900s attacking the year 2001.
They're robots.
Probably for the best. Probably for the best.
They're not T-100 or 1000s, but they're robots.
So jumping back into these episodes, what kind of plot momentum did we actually get out of these? Diabolico came back.
Titanium Ranger. We find out where he is.
We know that there's infighting now between Vypra and Loki, not Loki. I don't understand how it's...
And not Lokar.
Right. And Olympius, that they're all that there's all kinds of stuff happening with them. There was no real momentum with the Rangers themselves. Like, they're basically in the same place at the end of this last episode that they were at the beginning of the first one that we watched. They have a new toy. But are we going to see that again?
Yes.
I thought I feel like this was like the only time you see it.
Nah, it pops up. It's in and out. But it's not often, but it's around.
See,
okay.
Exactly.
It's not a one-time use thing, which is good.
No, it can't be. It's a toy.
Oh yeah, Corey, like how
by that logic.
Corey, like how in MMPR they only use the shark cycles like what, twice?
I feel like they revamped them for a later season though. It's like the same shark cycles with the different.
The same 5 motorcycles, and they just reshell it for different seasons.
Yeah.
It would not surprise me.
That's a good way to recycle old motorcycles. So that's a smart method.
If you guys could shorten down this season, how many core episodes do you think it would actually have?
Core episodes?
Yeah, like if you had to shorten down the season and take out all of the crud episodes that don't further the plot, that don't make sense, how many episodes do you think the season actually would be?
I think that'll probably be like half. No, I feel like that'll probably be like half the season.
No, you don't even need half of it. Because this is like 35, 40, right?
40 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, 40 episodes.
You can do Lightspeed Rescue in 10.
Especially if you clip
15.
certain things from each episode too. I feel like, would you be able to make this into a movie?
I say 15 tops. Episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
15 tops. That's
What
That's
about
pretty
just
good.
making it a clip show? Like, could you do this entire
they
season
do that.
in like one episode where it was like,
Yeah,
hey,
you do it.
do you guys remember when we fought Queen Bansheera? And then it just keeps like jumping back to different events.
They do clip shows within this franchise as it is. So, and I hate
Those are the worst.
Clip shows are the worst.
Really hate clip shows. This franchise made me
Unless it's Rick and Morty.
much.
I enjoy the Rick and Morty clip shows.
Well, those aren't really clip shows, so that's actually new content.
Hey, since we're like
Clerks did that. The Clerks cartoon. The first episode of the Clerks cartoon was a clip show where the whole thing was like, hey, do you remember the time that this thing happened? And it would just like flash back to things that we had never seen before. But by the end of the episode, they were flashing back to things that happened in that episode.
Wow, that got like self-referential like super quick.
That was like,
remember that one time we was talking about the stuff we did before?
And it starts over.
Yeah.
Corey, you about to say something?
Since we're here talking trash about Lightspeed, someone made a post, and it was about Carter and Ryan, and he said, this is on Twitter. He said, "Quit acting like these two were like the best characters on Lightspeed Rescue."
I know what you're talking about.
He said something like that, and then I commented. I was like, "Their characters were kind of dry, but I still love them." But then Sean C.W. Johnson, he was like, "Thanks," with a question mark. He responded to me. I was like, "Dang."
I'm like, oops.
I mean, it's true though. Like you got 40 episodes to really develop these characters and make them like interesting and complex and likable and memorable, and they don't.
But that's not the actor's fault though.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. It's not their fault for sure.
I'll interject.
Yeah, it's not their fault.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
It's the writer's fault. Those guys are just doing it. Like I said, I love Carter and I like Ryan, but there's 40 episodes is not much to them.
Exactly. So basically, you can't really blame the actors.
It's not the actors for sure.
Yeah, whatever they're given, they just do what they're told. It's kind of the same scenario with Super Mega Force, which is like the most hated season in Power Rangers history. People bag on the cast, but you know it's not.
It's not the cast. They can only act with the material that they have, you know.
Yeah,
and that happens with like every franchise. You know, like there's episodes of Star Trek that I don't like, but I like all of the people that were in the episodes. You know, Batman v Superman. You know, I thought that the cast was amazing, but the movie itself was just kind of.
Okay, I gotta leave. All right, you're not gonna disrespect my favorite movie like that. You
look,
understand?
let's just say BVS really separated comic book communities and film communities as a whole.
Yeah.
Big time.
We have enough divisionness in this world as it is. All right, you leave that movie alone.
Yeah, there's just like we smack talk that movie since 2016. Let's leave it alone.
Yeah.
And even I appreciate it despite the errors. The director's cut, not the theatrical cut.
Oh yeah, theatrical cut is a rough piece of work, but the director, it makes more sense.
Yes.
It's like, why do you cut out everything that makes the movie work? Why would you do that?
Simple. The studio comes in and say like, yeah, we want you to get rid of this, and this, keep this, get rid of that, and here you go.
Okay, so bringing this back to Power Rangers, do you think that is the problem with some of these episodes or some of these earlier seasons, is that it's the network that they were on or the studio coming back to them being like, oh, hey, you need to do this, or do you think it was a problem with the format of the show itself?
No, I think Power Rangers worked better when it was, you know, the first 10 years, and then as it went on, it got worse. So it's just an inherent.
Let's hear this debate. Let's hear this debate play out.
Just no.
Look. All right, look. The first half. The first half.
Once you get past SPD, things get a little shaky.
And
then it ends on the strong note with RPM, and then Saban gets it back, and then everyone gives Samurai trash. But Samurai is the strongest thing that Saban did when they got it back. If you go back and look at everything,
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
They just did Shinkenger with Americans, and then I was like, all right.
Yeah, despite that, but yes, I could definitely agree with that because Dan Corey just pretty much said my piece. Like the first 10 years of PR, the whole Saban, the OG Saban era, it's just hit after hit after hit after hit. And then
it got stronger because it's like the franchise grew with the audience.
When did we make the switch to Disney?
Right
in the
during
middle of Time Force.
Yeah, right during the middle of Time Force. Once Wild Force started airing, like the first half aired on Fox, and then the second half aired on ABC Family and ABC Kids.
Okay, so the next season that we're getting into is that the beginning of that switch.
Not yet.
Well, the franchise was bought during Time Force.
Yeah,
and then Wild Force was the first season
full
that
Disney.
was made under Disney. And then Ninja Storm was when everything was produced, and they moved to New Zealand.
So it's kind of like the move from between Beast Morphers and Dino Fury. Hasbro picked it up during Beast Morphers, and now Dino Fury is.
Well, they picked it up during.
Dino Fury was started production under
Hasbro,
Saban, didn't it? Or was it was Hasbro?
Beast Morphers started with Saban.
Right.
Because Saban still had it, but Hasbro was just doing the toys, and then during Beast Morphers, they said, "Fuck it, we just gonna take it."
Yeah.
And then so Dino Fury is the first thing under.
That's all. But Saban is still on as a consultant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he actually doing anything, or is he just?
No, he just collecting money.
Yeah. For sure. At this point,
he's just putting money in his pocket.
Yeah, he's just making that bread. He's just a phone call away if Hasbro has any questions.
I think maybe two weeks behind in Dino Fury, but so far I've liked what I've seen.
It's pretty solid.
It's been a pretty solid season.
The season's been very promising.
Power Ranger issues, but it's telling a story. Like Power Rangers usually don't tell stories, or they'll start telling something good, then it's like, never mind, you don't need this.
Or when they come back after the hiatus, they drop the ball big time, which is their big problem.
Oh yeah.
I do have a question. Do you guys watch any kind of children's shows that you think are up to par, like characterization, storytelling, everything that's great? Because Power Rangers is kind of meant to be able to jump into any episode at any given time and enjoy it. But do you have any shows that, like, man, I wish it was more like this?
There's plenty of shows.
Ninja Turtles, Voltron, pretty much anything else.
Okay.
That's what I don't understand about Power Rangers, why they just dumb it down. It's just like, you were doing it before, so what's
holding you? Like, what's holding you back?
Yeah,
but I could definitely agree with that. Corey said some good examples. Spider-Man the animated series, spectacular. Like all the DC animated universe shows.
That's true. Like Batman, the animated series was good.
All those shows have dark storytelling, but they're kid cartoons airing on children's networks.
I mean, even more than that, like you had The Tick back in the day, Animaniacs, Freakazoid, Tiny Toons, like all these shows were aimed at kids, but they
were still written way better than what Power Rangers is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a lack of motivation? Like, do you think it's like the writers? Do you think it's the producers? Like, what do you think is the major issue of why we can't get a full solid season that's like, oh man, that was great?
Well, one thing I noticed is one man has been there since the beginning, and he started off good, but now it's just like he doesn't care. It's just like the people, the man in charge. What was his name?
Chiplin.
Yes. Like I was talking to this man. I didn't even know who he was, because you know names and you don't know faces. I was talking to him about Morphicon one time.
Yeah.
I had no idea who he was, and it just felt like he didn't care. He was just doing the job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So long as it was raking in money, it was just like,
all right.
Like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
To add on to that, it's basically, I guess we're just in that era where not every show, but I feel like every kid cartoon is trying to play it safe, but sometimes when a show kind of breaks that mold or breaks that boundary, they get such high praise for it. Like, for examples, Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Regular Show, like all these, cartoons. And like even Disney is starting to do that. So like all these, anytime like they're on like these big networks, and now we're in that age of like, where representation is a key point, where, representation matters. We're starting to get that like, okay, I think it's okay for us to do this. Let's do that. But it's just with Power Rangers, I feel like, they're still scared to, take that step. When they had that step like way back in their heydays, it's just like, what's holding you back from doing it again?
Yeah, because there's always glimmers of that where it's like, man, this can be a really influential show. And Mighty Morphin was huge when that came out in America. Like, it was
it changed
huge.
the whole world.
Everybody loved it.
Saban didn't think it was gonna be a hit, but it did.
Yeah. Do you think we can have that again in the future for Power Rangers?
No, I doubt.
It's too late. Like, do you think it's just like everyone's just like, oh,
No,
it's Power Rangers?
If you think about it, no franchise had a resurgence. No franchise became big the way it was before.
Because we've already been exposed to it,
Yeah, like Marvel, they had their thing with Endgame, and I feel like going into New Avengers or whatever it is that they're doing, people are going to go and watch it, but it's not going to have that
same impact.
Yeah,
I feel you.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think if Hasbro does completely reinvent the franchise like after Dino Fury, then if they make it like a big event, I think it could have a big comeback. But I think there's a lot of pieces that would have to fall into exactly the right places at the right time for that to happen.
I mean, it can be popular again, like Ninja Turtles became popular again, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't big like it was in the '80s. You know what I mean? Yeah. It'll come back. I believe that, but it's not gonna like people were fighting. Adults were fighting each other in the toy stores for Christmas.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be Cabbage Patch Kids in the '80s.
It's definitely not gonna be like. It's not gonna be like that.
Was it in the '90s? Beanie Babies.
Beanie Babies.
Yeah, Beanie Babies.
Like all of those, like nothing really has that resurgence. You kind of get one shot to make it super popular. They bring back like the toys, like Tamagotchis came back. They
brought back Tamagotchis.
Yeah, they can talk to each other and stuff.
Oh my god.
But it's just, I think the same thing is going to happen with like Game of Thrones. Like when the prequel comes out,
it's not going to be as good.
Yeah, it might be a good show, but I don't think it's going to have that same like water cooler type aspect that
did you see the latest? Whole everybody at work talking about it.
Oh yeah, everybody at work or everybody at school like, yo, did you see the newest episode of so and so?
What if they do like a spin-off?
Series, what?
Do you think they could do a spin-off that would be super popular? Like, I'm trying to think.
I think as far as
I think they're too afraid to do that.
Yeah, I feel like as far as spin-offs goes, I can say the closest we got with that is the comics, because the comics is giving us storytelling. They're going deeper into storytelling that was like unanswered in the show.
Going deeper into storytelling, and Tommy's still the main character.
But I think it's okay. In the comics, though, like the stories are deeper and the characters are richer, and I would love to see that come to life because I think a lot of people would genuinely love that show if we could bring the comics back to it. But it's like, man, we've seen Mighty Morphin so many times. You want something fresh.
Right. I say it all the time. Like, I always say these two words: surprise me. Give me something fresh. Throw me for a loop. Knock my socks off.
Even with the lightning figures, it's still all Mighty Morphin.
Yeah, they're still.
I'm just like, I don't care. I mean, I see Scorpina, I'm like, yes, Scorpina.
Yeah.
But everything else, I was like, nah.
I mean, once I saw Scorpina, I was like, oh great, more MMPR toys.
No, but it's I love Scorpina. She didn't do too much of anything, but I just love the concept of Scorpina.
I know.
I just want to see something dark and awesome with Scorpina, and they don't never do nothing with the poor girl.
Well, and that's the thing though, because with a franchise like Power Rangers, I mean, look at it. You have all these fan-made projects that are happening, like people doing like fan films and everything. These fandoms have like such a rich ideas to give some really distinct storytelling that the show, I wouldn't say is afraid to do. It's just probably just doesn't want to do it. So,
yeah, it's not financially profitable for them to put in the extra effort to try something different. I feel like.
Yeah. I want to slightly change topics for a second, just because we were just talking about like fan stuff. So I'm sure you guys have seen recently that we think it was Toei sent cease and desist letters to the groups that were making the fan subs.
That hurt
for the current Sentai stuff. What do you guys think about that? Because I want to give you my as someone who works in the entertainment industry and does create content that goes on broadcast television, it like I understand what their reasonings might be, because if someone was taking one of the shows that we worked on, and basically uploading it to another server, even if they're just putting subtitles on it so that someone else could watch it and understand what's happening, it's still piracy. Like they're not seeing any income from that.
They're not seeing any income from it. It's happening in America. We don't read out. They're not airing it over here.
Right.
Yeah.
And
but
I understand that, but it takes away from their IP if that was something that they were planning to do. Because if that's something that they have, like even if it's not something that they're going to do, like for like another 5 years or 10 years, those things are still going to be out there and could take away from their income because people have already seen it.
Yeah, I feel like that they have something planned. That's why they, after freaking decades, they want to cut it out.
Like,
I mean, since like 2005, they've been doing this. That's a while.
So, like, I think if someone had just been uploading like the subtitle files for you to put over top to overlay on top of the show yourself, I don't think that would have been an issue. I think
no one's going to do that. Literally, no one's going to take the time to do that.
I used to do that. Like,
it's hard.
It is. It's prohibitive for the people who want that kind of stuff. But that, I don't think that would have been an issue. It's because they're overlaying it directly on top of their content.
Well, then they should have got on that horse and started doing it themselves. I know, Jonathan, you wanted to say something. What were you going to say?
So yeah, speaking of someone who's only been watching Toku for pretty much almost 5 years now, and this method was the only way for me to watch these shows. It's pretty much when I first started watching Sentai, it was like an eye-opening thing because I got hooked immediately because I get to see, the source footage of where Power Rangers come from. I get to see the different storytelling from the different seasons, how some of it is the exact same and how of it it differs from their American counterparts. Now, and same thing with Kamen Rider. Even though we don't have Kamen Rider here in the States, it's still cool to see a franchise that's strictly Japanese, and it's something that it's similar to Power Rangers because like you show a picture of Kamen Rider to somebody, people are gonna ask like, is that Power Rangers? Like, no.
Yeah.
But
no.
yeah. But as far as like the whole cease and desist thing, I was I wasn't really like shocked or anything. I was still like disappointed and be like, damn it, it's over. The era of watching Toku online it's over, because that's how pretty much we were only able to watch this stuff. We're not Japanese. We can't read. We don't understand Japanese, but
you can learn it.
I mean, yeah, we can learn it.
I mean, that's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
but I mean that is an option.
We can learn.
I think one of the other things that just again playing devil's advocate for them, one of the other things is they don't have control over the subtitles that is
right,
that the people are putting on, so they can't control what the translations are, how good the translations are, how accurate they are. Like I believe that the groups that are doing these are doing them in good faith and not actually like fucking anything up on purpose. But like you guys have all seen that the subtitles over the Hitler scene from like some movie where they're making Hitler like say something completely different, like, oh, Hitler's reacting to the season finale of Game of Thrones, or Hitler's reacting to this.
No, I didn't see that, but
it's great. It was like a World War II movie, and like Hitler's having a breakdown because of like someone attacking them, and it's just like people just like put their own titles on top of it.
Yeah, because we can't understand. He could be just saying anything.
Right. Yeah, he could be saying anything.
Yeah.
So like that's the same thing that people could be doing here, is they could be making up like completely new stories and putting them on top of the existing stuff, and no one would have any way of knowing unless you speak Japanese.
Yeah, and I feel like, Jonathan, you're just about to like wrap up. Did you have like a closing thought on all that?
Yeah, I was just about to wrap up. I was just saying, like, I mean, it's understandable that Toei would, shut, these fan subs down, but I just feel like, I even asked Joe this, and I'm like, doesn't Toei know that we're doing this? And he was like, yeah, but I just feel like they just don't care. So now you just have a little weasel within the community deciding to tweet Toei like, hey, somebody's fan subbing your show, like, you should do something about this. And then of course, the reaction gets out of hand where you have people starting to tweet the producers, be like, don't stop the fan subbers. Like, you got to know you have an audience here in America. Yeah, just like the damage is done. Don't say nothing else. Shut up. Keep it going. They did what they had to do. It is what it is. We just have to take it.
And we've had other things like that. This was kind of like an underground thing, like years back, but it was like this video that was recorded, or a movie recorded in Disneyland. And Disney kind of had the option of shutting it down. And they were like, you know what? We're going to let it go. We're not going to give them anything. We'll let them release it. It was terrible. And it just fizzled out. And literally, like, for a month, everyone was just nonstop talking about how can you film it in Disneyland? They didn't have the licensing. They didn't have, like, you know, the okay to do this. And I feel like the more attention you draw to things like that, it kind of, like, backfires in more cases than not. So it is interesting. Like, it is an actual debate.
With that thing with Disney, that was interesting too, because like both Disney and Universal Studios have a rule where you're allowed to shoot there as long as you don't have as long as you're not putting equipment down on the ground. So like if you've got a handheld camera, you're shooting on your phone, you know, whatever, they're not gonna, you know, their employees aren't going to stop you from shooting. Because they assume for the most part it's people taking home movies and home videos.
Yeah, or just
not actually shooting a movie itself. So these people kind of went in and took advantage of the situation and shot their own thing, which I give them mad props for, because that's like pulling ballsy. Something like that off is it's amazing. I would love to do something like that. But
see, like how you're excited about that, like the fans in this community are like, yes, this is how we watch the shows. This is how you make new fans in America. Why would you stop that? You know, it's been working like this so well.
It was only Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, but everything else is still like, you know, a Kiba Ranger and anything else that they put out, you know, Digimon anime, stuff like that. It's like, they don't care. It was just the Super Sentai and the Kamen Rider. Stop it.
and you have nobody talking about Ultraman, because now Ultraman is being fully, you know, released here in the States. So like,
there's a new movie coming out too, isn't there?
Yeah, like
Shin Ultraman?
No, there's a different. Well, that and something else. Like Netflix is putting together an animated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So with stuff like Ultraman, which is in the same genre as Sentai and Kamen Rider, but it's still owned by a different company. So Subaraya, they're different compared to Toei. Toei, they're just, you know, they have
monster.
Yeah, they're different.
Not I mean, as in big monster, not like they're monsters.
Yeah, they're different. They're a different kind of stickler when it comes to these kind of things.
Well, yeah, I guess we can wrap up this conversation. We kind of went off just because these episodes weren't that great. So just talking about, you know, kind of in the community things.
I fully expect this to happen at least a few more times over the course of many series that we're going to be reviewing.
It was a good discussion. I actually liked it.
And I think it's important to talk about these things, and you know, it's interesting. We're a part of this fandom, and it's you know, like the things that are happening does kind of directly affect us and how we're able to view content and how we're able to like access it and everything else. So just like when this went off of Netflix, like man, we were all like, so like, what are we doing?
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You're like, what do we do now?
I mean, we figured it out, but if it hadn't shown up to be on Amazon, available for purchase, I don't know what direction we would have gone, because I get like, I don't like supporting piracy, but at the same time, how else were we going to get access to it? So I don't know. We'll just have, I guess we'll kind of have to see, because like now, like I guess I saw there's a rumor that the next season of Dino Fury is going straight to Netflix and not going to be airing on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I'm really
that hasn't been confirmed. That was something I think like Chance.
Yeah, Chance just went out and said that like second half of Dino Fury, second season of
Sorry, I'm back. No, I'm not. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, Chance. We're good. Chance was like, "Oh yeah, so the first season's gonna air on Nickelodeon, then the second season's gonna go straight to Netflix." I'm just like, really? I'm like, all right, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll just.
But see, even Netflix doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if anything, it should be going to Paramount Plus, since Hasbro has like that deal with Paramount for like all the Transformers movies and all that kind of stuff. Like, it feels like that would be the place for it to go. But
I would say you're right. I just feel like Netflix should have still kept that deal with Nickelodeon. Just bring all the Nickelodeon content to Netflix, because you saw how they were releasing the Invader Zim movie, the Hey Arnold.
Yeah, but even with Nickelodeon is a Viacom Paramount property. So moving all that stuff over to Paramount would have made sense. Like I don't like some of these business decisions. I just don't understand. Like maybe there's something that I'm not getting about why they're making the choices that they're making. That makes sense to them, but for as someone on the outside, it's just like, okay, well, you've got all of your other Nickelodeon stuff on Paramount because you own the company, so why not put the rest of this stuff there too?
Maybe it's just me because of just complaining on how many streaming services there are.
Oh yeah.
That's just me. That's just
I've got Paramount, I've got Apple TV Plus, I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, I've got HBO Max, I've got YouTube TV.
I'm gonna interject. I know that you're listing all of these things. We're running about 20 minutes over where we need to be, and I have to head out. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm always a hard stop at 2. But you guys can continue the conversation. I do have to go, but I think we're having a really good stream and a really good topic. So if you want to go into like Riker maneuver time, since that's not happening today, but I do have to head out. Don't want to jam your conversation too much. But thanks for watching, and you guys can carry on the conversation, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second here just to make it not weird when you leave.
When I become a blank spot.
Adjust. And back.
There's a black box right there. It's
like, wait. I'm like, where's now?
You could put like a little cute thing in there. A ridiculous thing. You should put the snake monster.
Oh my God.
Shooting out.
Oh God.
Oh my God. I guess we could say that that's Elle's favorite monster now.
Yeah, so far.
Okay, we're good. All right. So Elle, we will see you next week.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for the fun, guys. I'll be back.
Later. Bye. Okay, we're back with just the 3 of us. So yeah, we were just talking about streaming services. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go on here. But yes, Jonathan, I feel your pain with the streaming services because I have pretty much all of them. Disney Plus, Hulu,
I mean, I'm only paying for 2 of them, and I got HBO Max for free because you can use I didn't know this at the beginning because they didn't say this. They said you can watch.
Yeah, they did. Because that's how I knew.
Wait, you had HBO and HBO Max?
Yeah, because you put in your cable provider, you get HBO Max for free. They didn't say that in the beginning. I thought I had to pay, more money. I'm like,
man.
Because I'm already paying for Netflix and Disney Plus. So I'm like, do I have to pay more? I'm like, I'm not putting money on another streaming service. I'm not. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I'm done. I hit my limit. Whatever E1 does, because I gotta watch my Power Rangers. But
I mean,
that's about it.
I mean, thank God for Tubi. Tubi has a lot of stuff. They change stuff. They add stuff. They have some retro TV, retro cartoons. So I'm like, oh, thank God for Tubi. Despite the ads,
I kind of feel like I obviously don't need everything, but like Amazon, I really enjoyed The Boys. I still haven't watched The Boys. Invincible is really good. I liked Carnival Row. Amazon has the Lord of the Rings series that's going to be coming out. The Wheel of Time series is going to be on Amazon. So like I feel like I have to have, and I order a lot of shit off of Amazon, so just having Amazon Prime is nice for the free shipping. But then Paramount, like Paramount Plus, they had The Stand, which was really good. All the Star Trek stuff that I watch is on there.
I wouldn't say all the Ninja Turtle shows. You have the 2003 and the 2012 show that's on there. You have a bucket load of Nick Jr. and Nickelodeon shows for all your nostalgic needs.
So Netflix. Netflix had Power Rangers, but it also had the Ultraman show. It's got the Umbrella Academy, Lock and Key. There's just so much stuff on, and just like regular random stuff on Netflix too. Just like other movies, older series. HBO, you get HBO with HBO Max. You've got all these new movies that are coming out. Disney Plus, you need that for Star Wars and all the Marvel stuff. And all the Disney stuff. Like realistically, I feel like Hulu, like base Hulu is probably the only one that I have that I wouldn't necessarily miss. But
if I like something enough, I'll just buy it on iTunes because everything ends up on iTunes anyway. So that you pay for it that one time and.
Oh, yeah, Peacock. I also have Peacock.
That's also kind of like the struggle, though, because, sometimes you want to purchase something, but you don't got the money for it. And yet, this is kind of jumping back to what we said before with the whole piracy thing. It is a struggle because you want to be legal, but you just don't have the funds for it. So it's just like, you try to go through whatever means necessary for you to, to find it and watch it. So so that way you can stay in the loop. So I can understand that struggle.
I think we're getting to the point where streaming services are going to kind of implode. I think we're going to see a consolidation of a lot of them. Like already you can add HBO and Showtime and Paramount and CBS and all that kind of stuff to Amazon Prime or to Hulu. So you can bundle a lot of these things together. But I think eventually it's just going, because it's getting back to be like where I was spending $200 a month on cable, and it's almost getting that way on I don't have cable anymore, but now
cable TV is not even that. Cable TV is not even that great anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I that's why I have YouTube TV, so I get the live stuff, so that I can I can watch the news live and some of the other channels and just like kind of go through things that don't have a streaming service, but. Even that, like probably next year, I'm not even going to need that anymore.
I see your point.
So it's interesting. I don't know. I don't know what the future is going to bring. But like we saw with the music industry back in the early part of the 2000s, Napster and BearShare and LimeWire and all that kind of stuff pushed companies like iTunes and Spotify and Pandora and all those companies, and now music is in a completely different place than it was 15 years ago. So I think we're going to see that same thing with streaming services, just because it's going to get to the point where it's just too much.
Yeah. So I guess that's kind of wraps things up.
Yeah. That.
Oh yeah, Corey, there's somebody you wanted to shout out. Real quick.
Oh yeah. Well, first I want to call myself out because one of my friends watched this show and got on my case because I was wearing a wife beater on the show. So I'm here thinking I'm showing my muscles. Look how buff I am, but then I just look lazy. I'm like,
you're trying to be like,
I didn't say anything, but like that. Honestly, that's like one of my like. We had someone show up to a stream one time and he was wearing a tank top, and I'm like, nah, go put a t-shirt on, man.
Yeah, I always try to make sure, like, wait a minute, I gotta make sure I'm wearing a t-shirt. Like,
that's how I am. Like I have to make sure that I'm wearing a hat because if I don't shave, like you can see my Captain Picard like horseshoe thing going on, and like I get really self-conscious about that. So like I get it.
Yeah, so I'm shirts from now on because I was like, dang, I look terrible. Okay, sorry. But then lastly, a friend of the show, Thomas Franco, decided to message one of my friends and ask us if we were dating. It's just not cool, buddy. You may wanna cut that shit out, all right? That's like weird and creepy. Don't let me catch you doing that shit again, buddy. All right? Don't do it.
Corey just messaged me like, "Yo, check this out." I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah, that's not like. Most of you guys watching are pretty good. You have to realize like we're real people. We have lives outside of this. Yeah, we're not and even if we were celebrities, like that's just like don't do it. It's not okay to get involved in their personal life if they're not making you involved in their personal life. Like Henry Cavill, like I don't even know what this was about, but Henry Cavill just dropped like a giant post about that on his Instagram today.
Oh yeah, when he had a picture with him and his girlfriend.
Yeah. And people are just like trying to get in on their business, and I'm like,
stop it.
Like on the one hand, I'm like, okay, when you chose to get into the entertainment industry, you're putting your life in the public eye. So I understand that, and that's why I try and keep like my personal stuff that I don't want share. Personal stuff that I don't want to share doesn't happen on here. But if I'm sharing it, that's open game.
I feel like that's
one thing I don't necessarily agree with. Like it's almost like famous people lose their privacy when they become famous.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I don't. Fair. It's not, and I don't agree with it at all. But at the same time, people who are who are aiming to get into the public eye like that and become famous actors and actresses or musicians or whatever. I think you have to understand that is
you're playing with fire.
Yeah, that's part of that. It comes with the territory. It's not good that it comes with the territory, but you have to be ready to face that and deal with it.
All those gossip channels like TMZ, like y'all just professional stalkers.
I hate.
No, all of that needs to go away. I was at Comic-Con a few years ago. I was heading to a press junket for something at the Hard Rock Hotel, and there were just like all kinds of paparazzi that were standing outside the entrance of the Hard Rock because of the celebrities that were coming in. And dude almost ran me over with his camera trying to get back to the red carpet to snap pictures of whoever had just pulled up. And he starts yelling at me because he ran into me. And I'm like, dude, it's a picture of fucking Vin Diesel. Like, why like, find one online. They already exist.
There's like so many, there's like over 1 million pictures of Vin Diesel all over the internet.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, just
people draw pictures of Vin Diesel. Chill out.
Right?
Yeah. So like those kind of people, like, you know, were the guys who root through people's trash looking for things. Like, I'm like, no, don't do that. None of that is cool. But as a celebrity, you have to be aware that stuff can happen to you. So like that's all I'm saying is that you have to know to, like, you should, like, don't accept the fact that it's happening, be angry about it and call that shit out, but at the same time understand that it could possibly happen to you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, with us, don't do it, because if you do it, we're gonna clap back.
We'll find you.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something. I'm a nice guy, but if you cross my line, I'm gonna say some shit. That's all I'm saying.
That kind of stuff needs to be pulled. Like Thomas, I know you're a good guy, but don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go through our friends list and message people that we're friends with.
Yeah, you creeping around, dude. What are you doing? Go read a book.
That.
Go read a book.
And on that note, I'm gonna like, speaking about reading books. I've got I don't know if you can see them behind me. I've got stacks of comics here from the past couple of weeks.
I've been trying to catch up on I've been trying to catch up on all my comic book reading digitally and physically, because you know, sometimes you just purchase more and more books, and yet, like, wait a minute, I didn't even start this yet.
I didn't start last week's yet. Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even start this yet. I'm like, oh, crud.
That's on you with Power Rangers, but I don't feel like reading them because it just feels like it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's why I haven't been reading the comics either. Just like, do I need to even continue at this point anymore?
Yeah, I was just like, okay. Oh, shit, what happened, Mike? Okay.
Anywho,
I don't know. Anyway, so once again, there's no Riker maneuver today. Again, for second week in a row, I apologize for that. We will be back next week, though. I believe we are on episode 20. It's either 22 or 23 of season 1 of Star Trek Enterprise. We're closing in on the season finale, which I'm really looking forward to. Blackwing, you should start watching Star Trek Enterprise so I can rope you into those shows.
I am watching too many things as it is. Like, even now, after the whole cease and desist with Toei, I'm just like, you know what? I think I just need a Toku break. Period.
There you go. So Star Trek can fill that gap for you.
No, like,
I took a Toku break for a few years, and now I was trying to get back into it. It's like, no, I just can't finish the stuff I started.
Like, bro, I've been watching, like, Family Matters for, like, the past 2 weeks because have you gotten to the episode that JDF was in yet? No, I saw a clip of that on YouTube. I could just look up clips of that on YouTube. I was like, wait a minute, they got JDF in here. I was like, and they got Sean from Zeo. Like, yo, he got his like, both of these guys got their butts kicked by Urkel. Oh, shoot.
You know.
I was just like, yo, I've been sleeping on Family Matters for too long. It's a very underrated out of the Black family sitcoms. It's
great. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you know, that's fantastic.
You brought Sean for Zeo. And it started making me think of that Vision meme. Vision, you haven't seen those?
I don't want to talk about those anymore. I don't want to talk about those.
One reason to have HBO Max, if you haven't seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion,
watch it.
Watch it. It's great. Other than that, if you guys want to watch Love, Death, and Robots, we can chat about that on Twitter. You can find me at Bogon Poetry Slam. You can find Corey at LT. because I fucked that up when I switched these around a little bit.
You can find Corey at C Gibson Rex.
Yeah. Oh, I have L's.
Yeah. I swapped the wrong thing around.
Oops.
It's fine. But yeah, so that'll do it for us for this week. Again, no record maneuver today, but we will be back next week. Later on today, if Shay is free, the two of us will be on Twitch at twitch.tv/the_Illuminati, I believe is what it is. If you just look up the Illuminati on Twitch, you can find it. You can find it on our website. I've got a link there at theilluminati.com. Tomorrow you can watch the Sentai Ranger wrap up.
Yep.
What are you guys talking about?
We're talking about Children Sentai Jetman. Things are heating up with the show. Brian, Ian, they're both enjoying it. So I've been enjoying rewatching the show again. So we're almost done. We found a way to like get through the season a lot quicker. I didn't think we were going to do that because I thought we were just going to stick with 3-episode format like everybody else does. Right, but I'm like, you know what? This is our show. We can do what we want. So I like the method that Bryce. Why did I say Brian? Why did I say Brian? Oh my gosh. Anywho,
Dice.
Anywho, check me out on the Retro Sentai wrap up tomorrow with Bryce and Ian. We're watching Children's Sentai Jetman, and you can watch along with us on Tubi.tv, or of course download the Tubi app. It has all the Sentais that release from Shout Factory, or you can also watch it on Shout Factory TV. And yeah.
Then after that, at 3 p.m. PT is It's All Connected, again with Bryce and Richard and Caitlin. They'll be talking about all the recent news in Star Wars and DC and Marvel. And then at 5 o'clock this week is the Illuminati Wrestling Order with a special guest. So make sure to tune in to find out who that is if you are a fan of pro wrestling. And then it starts all over again on Thursday with the Bad Batch at midnight or 11:40.
Wherever you are in the world.
Yeah, So yeah,
it's on YouTube. Just watch it.
Yeah, just again, as El said, click the notification thing. Make sure you're following us on Twitch. Make sure you're checking us out on the web at theilluminati.com. Follow us all on our social medias, but not in our DMs.
Please don't.
No, please.
Please
don't be talking to my lady friends, please. That's not cool.
Do not,
lady friends.
Not do that. Do not do that.
This is my friends that are girls.
Yeah, I don't need. Yeah, we all don't need that kind of drama. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and of course here at the Illuminati, we're always watching.
Later.